What is up, YouTube? In that previous clip, you guys saw we were able to just smother his offense, and today we're going to be putting that towards strong close, talking about a couple different adjustments you guys can use to just shut down that offense altogether. Now, this is the 4-6 defensive playbook, so the blitz that we're going to be running is corner blitz 3. That's going to be the stock defense we're going to be using, and we're going to be using play ball in air, and then we're going to set our curl flats to 20 or 25. This is where anticipation and understanding your opponent's tendencies come into play. A lot of people will have the strong side on the wide side of the field. That goes for any formation, where it be trips, bunch, strong close, I-form close, etc. They're almost always going to have the strong side on the wide side. So we want the blitzing corner on the wide side of the field. So we'll go ahead and flip the play and run corner blitz 3 and a basic old wide receiver out. This play is such an old play, and it puts a lot of emphasis on the tight end post route, trying to either distract the user or suck the user away from the slant, etc. So the setup for this particular defense is you want a pinch D line that helps with sheds, but X and B into vert hooks, shade up. Now, this guy right here, the guy that's blitzing, can be either your user, or you can put him into a cloud flat / hard flat. If you're running a flat from the tight end or a tail route from either one of the running backs, I recommend keeping him into a hard flat and taking away the immediate flat side of the field. Starting out, I usually like to have him in a cloud flat, and yeah, you can give up the flats and you just adjust later on in the game. And then I'll user the guy that is in the 3-rec hook. When we are using the 3-rec hook, we've got a bunch of responsibilities over in the middle of the field. First, the post route. That's your number one thing you have to be watching for. You may end up giving up the slant here, but if you can kind of just bait them into throwing the slant and just wait long enough, you can either lurk them on the post route or make them hesitate on that slant instead. So this is how I like to run it, and you'll motion the slant instead, and you'll just motion snap him over. And as a user, we got a lot to worry about in the middle of the field. Wait, pass it off, and you can see right there, able to play both the slant and the post, and there's nothing open, and Tom Brady is shaking off a sack, but finally gets pressure and gets a loss of yards. You should have no issues whatsoever. This cloud flat, it will play the immediate flats. You see right here, it plays the table route very, very well. But once the slant route starts coming back, you can see the cloud flat's going to go ahead and drop back, and then is able to play the slant as well. But again, we just want to press. You don't even have to press. You can press. This compressed, I'd probably recommend pressing. You'd press, you'd put these guys, this guy right here, this DN into a vert hook, this DN into a vert hook, user this guy, or if we wanted to change it up, and let's just say we wanted to user this person instead, you can go ahead and now swap the zone assignment. So we're going to still shade up. Reason being is because when we shade up, that 3-rec hook is going to take care of the post route for us, pass off with a curl flat. The vert hook's going to take away the immediate slant and then bite back down to the hitch. And we just got to worry about the slant in the late part of the play. We can shade up. We could actually just pass this slant off later too. So go ahead, play it. Pass it off. You can see the cloud flat starting to drop back. Picks it up, and there's nobody to throw. Takes a sack. Now let's just go ahead and switch over to a different team where we're going to lose Hot Route Master, but we'll be talking about how you can still deal with this play when you are having a mobile QB and you're not having to sacrifice a lot of coverage still. All right, so getting back into strong close, the same exact play we were focusing on previously. Where did it go? Wide receiver out. But what we're going to do to try and not sacrifice too much coverage is now we're going to be forced to put this guy into a cloud flat. So it leaves you vulnerable in this case to a crosser coming from the weak side or this backside receiver right here where Nickerson is lined up. I believe that's Tyler Lockett. If he runs a crosser, you are now vulnerable to it because this cloud flat will not play it. And we don't want to touch our flats at all. One adjustment that you can do to this is, don't motion him out. I got the wrong controller right now. Is put B into a curl flat. And we're going to drop Adrian Amos, the guy that's in a seam flat, into a spy. Same thing like usual, we're going to drop the other defensive end into a vert hook to help with a slant, a potential slant, maybe a little streak up the middle to at least provide time for the outside third to pick it up, etc. So this is how we're going to run it instead. Again, shade over. Now with wide receiver out, the same route combination, you have responsibility for the tight end, but eventually can pass it off to the curl flat. So don't feel like you have to just stay on the tight end the entire time. Again, recognize what zones you are putting out there and then just trust them. You really got to just put your trust that a zone's going to do what it's supposed to do. So then you can free up your user and guard any particular playmaker hits that they may have out there. So again, we're just going to motion this guy over. Then motion snap. We're going to just guard the slant, come back over to the post. You can see eventually the cloud flat's going to drop off. Yeah, they probably could have threw that a little bit late, but we always have to remember we're wanting to take away the deep stuff rather than the shallow stuff. Because as they continue to drive down the field, you're going to be able to play a lot more aggressively underneath than over the top. So it's also important to note when facing a mobile QB, you've got to have a spy. And I don't recommend having one of your defensive linemen on a spy, especially if you're facing a runner. I've just found that it's for some reason doesn't work as well if you drop them into a zone and stopping their run than it does a spy. And they're generally slower than a linebacker. Given this is reg, so I'm sure there's some demons out there with 90 speed. But you also note that if he was to try to roll out and hit the slant, you're going to immediately send the spy. You don't want them to just be able to stand there and make a read. You have to put pressure on the quarterback as soon as they roll out. Give them about 2 or 3 yards out of the pocket and send it. Send it too early, they'll just step back into the pocket and then pick up your spy, and off to the races they go. At that point, it's then having to be your user to act as the spy instead and sacrifice coverage. We're going to go ahead and do our best to user the middle of the field. And this is for strong close in general. Strong close, you're going to run across a lot of posts across the middle and a lot of slants. You can see right there, we can pass that off to the curl flat. If he was the playmaker of that, we're going to go ahead and, wow, we actually picked it off. I thought we just got agged. Pick it off instead. So guys, that's going to take care of this video. This is just a little introduction to the pass coverage of strong close. We're going to be breaking down a few more plays. I just need another day or two to be able to study strong close in a little bit more detail. But there is going to be a franchise money league. It has already started. I'm in it. The first game has already been recorded. I'm editing it right now. That's going to be dropping. There's going to be lots of stuff coming to this. As soon as we get through this little strong close guide, we're going to be going back into blitzes and bringing you guys more blitzes as well. So be sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. You can unsubscribe literally at any point in time if you don't like the content on here. But anyways, appreciate every single one of you guys. Road to 10K. Let's go ahead and hit it this year. That is my goal. And I appreciate all of you for being able to join me along for this journey. It has been a journey, I will say that. But until next time, guys, we'll see you on the field for our first franchise money league game.